Hi and welcome back to my channel. So I'm super excited about today's coaching video because last week I promised you that I would do a part 2 to taking back your life. And so as promised, this is what today's video is all about. So I'm going to be sharing with you the other 9 points that I didn't share with you on last week. As always, for those of you that are subscribe to my channel, thank you so much for continuing to come back to support me by just watching my videos. And it's always my goal to allow you to take something from it, hopefully share it with somebody else if it's not something that you can use. And I really do truly believe in the things that I share with you, and so I just thank you for allowing me to take a few minutes of your time to share those things. And if you're not subscribed to my channel, please be sure to hit that subscribe button, because each week I come back with a different topic to speak life into you. So let's jump right on in. So number one on our list is, and again, we're talking about, last week we talked about taking back your life. And so if you did not see last week's video, I'm going to make sure I link it in the description box so that you can go back and see it, because then, you'll get, you'll get an understanding of where we're going with the points I'm going to share with you today, but I want you to also get the ones that I shared last week. So number one, unplug from time to time. And this is so critical. If you're able to do so, because not everybody can, I want you to take a full week of your life and spend it outdoors, on the road, or doing something that you don't normally do. And that means you need to get off Facebook. That means you need to get off Twitter. You need to get off Instagram, Snapchat, all of that. Just unplug and just focus only on you for one whole week. So that, because sometimes it takes disconnecting from your everyday life to realize how trivial most of your worries really are, right? And how capable you are of existing completely outside of them. Number two, declutter your life. Declutter your life. So again, you can take a week, and if you don't have a week, take a weekend, take a whole month, but take every weekend in that month to declutter your life. And y'all know what I'm talking about when I say declutter your life, right? So that means clean up your home, because we all have something that we need to clean up, be it a closet, the basement, your car trunk, something. We all have something that we need to clean up. And get rid of everything that you no longer are using. And this goes for you, for those of you that have to clean out a closet. If you have clothes in that closet that you have not been able to get into in a year's time, and sometimes longer, get rid of that stuff. You have to declutter. And you can focus more when you declutter, right? And so the thing is, you want to create an environment that is neat, that is in order, and that allows you to be more productive. And I don't know about you all, but when I have a clutter-free area, I actually think much better. You know what I'm saying? So take some time to declutter your life. And then when you're decluttering all those things that I just mentioned, take some more time to declutter your mind. And that thing, sometimes people forget about that. Every now and then, I do it quite often, where I have to unplug from the day-to-day, from everybody, so that I can declutter my mind. And the reason why I have to do that is because, I have so many people that share the things that are going on in their life with me, that sometimes my mind just gets so cluttered up with everybody else's stuff. And if I'm not careful, I get so consumed by what other people are going through that I find myself coming up with plans on how to fix everything, because I probably should call myself the fixer, because that's what I do. I'm always trying to figure out how to fix things. And so every now and then I have to just take a step back and say, wait a minute, Michelle, we're going to declutter your mind. So we're going to take everything out that people have been pouring into you. Just declutter your mind, declutter my mind. And that may be doing some meditation, or I may just get on Netflix and just watch a good cartoon or something. But I have to declutter my mind. So don't forget to do that while you're decluttering your home. Number three, strengthen your relationships with the people who love you. And I think if you don't remember anything else I talk about today, this is so critical. There's no time like when you're down on your luck to realize who's really there for you in life. When everything is falling apart, take notice of who is still standing beside you. Those are the people who are always going to matter the most. And there's no time like the present to appreciate them for all they're worth. And I know, I talk a lot about having that tight inner circle. I'm so thankful that I have a tight inner circle. And I know that no matter what's going on in my life, good, bad, or indifferent, those people in my inner circle are always going to be there for me, just like I'm always there for them. So be sure to strengthen the relationships with those people who love you and who stick by you. Number 4, establish a healthy source of validation. Finding a friend or loved one who is willing to remind you why you're wonderful when you forget it just might be what keeps you afloat on those bad days. Validation is not toxic if you're seeking it in the right places. And that is the key. If you are looking for validation in all the wrong places, it is very toxic, and it does nothing but keep you in a place where you just really can't grow and you can't move on and all that good stuff. So be sure to seek validation from those people that really truly care about you, have your best interests, and most importantly, that love you unconditionally. Number 5, become invested in the process of change, not the outcome. Too often, we put all of our hopes on future accomplishments that may never come to fruition. Rather than telling yourself, I'll be happy when. Learn to find joy in the simple process of bettering yourself. Take pride in the fact that you're making changes for yourself rather than putting your happiness on the outcome of those changes. And funny thing is, we all have said that. We all have said, I will be so much happier when I'm debt free, or I'll be so much happier when I can do this or I can do that, instead of living in the moment. The Bible says we have to call those things as if they were. So I find myself doing that now. I have positive affirmations for myself, and I may not recite them all every day, but I have a couple of them that I do like to recite as I start my day and end my day. And I just tell myself everything is a-okay in my world. You know what I'm saying? And I don't say I'll be happy when. I'm happy right now, regardless of where I am and whatever it is that I'm trying to work on. Number 6, learn to walk away. Perhaps the single most important step to regaining control over your life comes through learning to walk away from the situations that are holding you back. It takes an incredible amount of bravery to walk away from what you've known, but it also gives way to an incredible opportunity to start over the way you've always wanted to. Cannot stress this enough. I have a good friend, and I won't name this person, but I have a good friend who is in a point in their life, I'm not going to say he or she, where they are going through something. And I've been trying to get this individual to see that they have got to walk away. Because when you try to hold on to something or someone that doesn't want to be held on to, number one, but they don't want to be with you anymore, that is so toxic. And so I'm trying to get this person to understand that it is okay to walk away. And I think they'll be much better off if they do that. So we'll see. But I just want to use that as an example of how we hold on things because it's so familiar, and we think, oh my God, if I let this go, I now have to venture out into unknown territory, and I don't know what's going to happen over here. So I'm going to stay with this, and I know it's not good for me, but it's what I know. So you've got to learn to let go and walk away. That way you keep your own sanity. Number 7, let yourself be happier than you are comfortable with. Too often we sabotage our own happiness out of a reluctance to trust it. Rather than allowing ourselves to grow into bigger shoes, we declare our feet not big enough, and we retreat. We have to start allowing ourselves to let go of guilt, self-doubt, and start seizing opportunities as they arise, even if we feel a bit out of our league along the way. And essentially, sometimes you do have to step out there and do those things that you would never normally do, because you just don't know what the outcome is going to be. So you got to stop Yeah, we got to stop sitting back and, being afraid to step out there and do things. I'm telling you, life would be so much better if you do. Number 8, set and enforce boundaries. Sweet Jesus. This one is actually for me because I am learning now that I have to set boundaries with certain people in my life, because if I don't, I become too consumed, with what's going on in their lives, and I can't allow myself to do that, because then, sometimes you lose yourself when you don't, set boundaries. So there will eternally be people out there who are willing to rob you of your joy in exchange for a dose of their toxicity. And one of the most important lessons we may ever have to learn is that we cannot save those people from themselves. We have to learn to set clear boundaries if we don't want to drown alongside them, even if it's someone we love. And again, I am learning to set boundaries with people. And so specifically, you know how you have a friend or someone that comes to you every time they have a problem, right? And so you find that every time you talk to that individual, and I'm not talking about anybody in particular, I'm just throwing this out there as an example. But every time you talk to them, it's always about some person or something, or a combination of both sometimes. And I just feel like, and it can be anywhere. They call you at your job. They call you at your home. They call you when you're in the gym or on a date. So I'm learning now I have to set boundaries. Yes, I want to help you. Yes, I want to be an ear for you when you need somebody to listen to you. Just vent. Because sometimes people don't want you to help them. They just need you to listen. And I'm going to always do that because that's just what I do. But I'm learning to set boundaries. I'm learning to say, you know what, unfortunately, we can't talk about that right now. Because right now I want to focus on this, or I want to focus on that. Or right now, you know what, I just want to keep things just happy and upbeat. I don't want to talk about that sad sack stuff right now. But there's a time and a place that we can talk about those things. So it's easier said than done. You know what I mean? But I am learning that it's okay to do that. Because if not, like I said, I become so overwhelmed and so consumed with everybody else, and my things get pushed to the side. So set boundaries because you really need them. Number 9, last and certainly not least, forgive yourself and others. Don't allow anger or fear to keep you trapped in a damaging past. Allow yourself the opportunity to forgive those who have hurt you, to forgive the injustices done to you, and to forgive yourself for every time you messed up. Let me put a pin right here. I'm going to tell you something. Life happens to all of us. You all have heard me say that quite often, but it really does. And I feel like this, when I look back over my life and I look at the times that I messed up, I don't feel bad about that. You know why? Because and someone said this earlier today, if you never mess up, how in the world will you learn? We learn from our mistakes, right? So I don't feel bad about those. I forgive myself and say, you know what, Michelle, that didn't work out, or you probably could have did that a little bit different, and it's okay. I'm not going to beat myself over the head over it. I learned from that, and I'm going to move on and hopefully not make that same mistake. Forgive not to relieve other people of accountability, but to finally allow yourself the freedom and space to move on and to take your, excuse my language, and to take your damn life back. I'm going to tell you something. When I saw that, I was like, you know what? I like that. Because sometime back, it's been since what? 2009, I believe it is. I was in a relationship with someone. And this person left me not once but twice for someone else that he deemed was better than me. And so the first time, I took him back. The second time, there was no more coming back from that. And I was so angry. I was so angry, as anybody would. And I just remember sometimes I had these thoughts that, if I was driving down the street and I saw him, I could actually see me driving over him and keeping it moving. But then I realized, you know what? That does nothing but eat away at me. Because I'm pretty sure he has moved on. He is happy with his life. but I'm still sitting here angry about someone that I shouldn't even be wasting my time with, right? So one day I woke up and I realized, I said, you know what, Lord, I forgive him. I forgive him. I don't like him, but I forgive him. Not for him, but for me. Because I know that, number one, God cannot bless me if I'm holding that kind of anger and hatred that I was. And I don't hate anything and I don't hate anybody. But at that point, I did hate him. And I just said, well, I know, Lord, you can't bless me if I'm holding all of this hate in my heart. So I've got to let that go, because that's doing nothing but eating away at me. And it's very toxic. You know what I'm saying? So one day I woke up and I just decided, Lord, I forgive him. I forgive him. And then immediately I just felt like the weight of the world had been lifted off my shoulders. And I just felt so much better about myself and about life. And so I said all of that to say that, you know, forgiving him had nothing to do with him, but everything to do with me. And so, of course, a year later, you know, I get a phone call. Hey, let's go grab something to eat. You know, can we talk? I miss you, da da da. I said, no, I'm good. Not hungry right now. On a diet. Every time he'd ask, I have some story. And so, you know, he says, well, you still haven't forgiven me. And I said, no, I have. I said, see, let me tell you something. Forgiving you does not mean I want a reunion with you. Like I told him, I said, I forgive you, not for you, but for me. Because I'm now able to move on. I haven't thought about you in any way, shape, or form, but clearly you thought about me, and that's why you text. I had blocked his number so he couldn't call. But that's why you text, and you now want to talk, and you realize you had a good thing, and you messed up. But it's too late. You burned me twice. I'm done. I am done with you. I always give you a second chance, but twice, I'm done. But anyway, I'm rambling now. But I said all of that to say that you've got to forgive people for you. It is not about them. And you may be thinking, well, if I forgive them, then, you know, I'm weak. No, you're not. You're not weak at all. You are a strong individual. Again, you are forgiving them for you, because now that frees you up to be able to move on with your life and not worry about that individual. So I hope these 9 points were very helpful in helping you take your life back, because we have got to get to a place where we're not allowing other people to rob us of our joy, of our happiness. Because, you know, I'm telling you, life is great. It can be great, but it can't be if you walk around, you know, allowing things to steal your joy. So, like I said, I hope these 9 points helped you in some way, shape, or form. If, you know, if you are going through something and you need some one-on-one help, not necessarily counseling, but maybe you need some coaching and getting back up on your feet and moving on with life. And this is, no matter what it is that you're going through, please feel free to always reach out to me. I will leave my email in the description box, so you can always reach out to me. You know, let's talk. And because my goal is to really help people. Like I said, this channel is all about speaking life into people, as many people as I possibly can. And so this is what I try to do each week as I do my videos. So that is all I have, and I look forward to our time together next week. But until then, I need you all to really take back your life. And I promise you, you'll be much happier for doing so. So until our next video, take care.